It's an absolutely miserable day outside. The wind is howling like a banshee from hell, the rain's lashing against my window, so I just think it's the perfect time to get stuck right back in to another Choose Your Own Adventure book. And this is part 3 of Indiana Jones and the Cup of the Vampire. If you haven't seen any of the previous parts, please watch them here and here. And we will continue on. So where we were last time, we were stuck inside these coffins on a train cutting through the Romanian countryside, probably on our route to some sort of vampire meal or food orgy. And luckily what happened is that some robbers came on the train and actually helped release us when they heard us. And we had the option, Indiana Jones, Mihail and Mike Cusack, we had the option to follow the kidnappers because we saw them sort of jumping off the train. We'd follow them through the Romanian countryside, or we could ask the robbers, and Indiana Jones knew one of them, Sasha, we could ask them to lead us to Castle Dracula, because the whole point is we're looking for the Cup of Diemschid, or the Cup of the Vampire. So this is the first time this has happened on Choose Your Own Adventure Friday. You were all unanimous. You all said, let's go and ask Sasha to take us to the castle. So we'll turn to page 93. About that castle, you say to Sasha as the kidnappers disappear behind a distant mountain. Could you take us there? Don't know why I'm doing that again. Why, certainly, Sasha says, smooth. I don't know why he became a Frenchman. Follow me, my men are just outside. As you step off the dark train and into the sunlight, you see Sasha's fellow bandits, a seedy-looking group of about 20 men. They are dressed in colourful tatters, and their unshaven faces bear the scars of many battles. Wait here, Sasha tells you. I must talk to my men before we leave. Some of them are superstitious, but I will convince them that there is no danger in going to the castle. Sasha walks over to the men and they huddle around him. You cannot hear what he is saying, but when he is finished, the bandits look at you and smile greedily. I got a feeling Sasha's guessed our little secret and promised his men a piece of the action, Indy whispers. I don't like the look of this kid, but I guess we haven't got any choice. Let's go. Turn to page 40. Kind of breaks the whole dramatic element, doesn't it, when I go turn to page 40. On horseback, you follow Sasha and his bandits through the Borgo Pass and into a lush green valley. By nightfall, you're standing outside the ruins of Castle Dracula. The main entranceway remains intact, but all but one of the castle's towers have collapsed and huge bricks of moss-covered granite lie scattered all around you. Sasha runs towards the front doors. In here, he shouts, and his men quickly obey. The bandits enter the castle, leaving you, Indy, and Mihail behind. Hey! Indy shouts as the three of you rush to catch up. I'm supposed to be giving the orders here. Who's in charge of this expedition? Why did it become like a Chicago gangster? I'm supposed to be giving the orders here. Who's in charge of this expedition? Just as you are about to enter the castle, you hear the sound of gunshots coming from inside. Carefully, the three of you peer in through the door. What you see shocks you. The bandits are busy shooting at a group of black-robed figures who are darting around the room in fear and confusion. They are the friends of Dracula, Mihail says. Sasha and his men must have surprised them in the middle of their rituals. As the attack continues, the Dracula worshippers flee through a tiny hole in the castle wall. When the fighting is over, you join Sasha inside. His men scurry about the castle, exploring every nook and cranny in the hopes of finding something worth stealing. Looking for something, Sasha? Indy asks. We shall know in a minute, Sasha replies. At that moment, a bandit standing on the far side of the castle points to a doorway and shouts happily. I found it, he cries. Come and see, come and see. Sasha races into the room with you, Indy and Mihail close behind. Bags of priceless gems are piled along its walls, and gold ingots are stacked up to the ceiling. A skeleton lies next to a solid gold table. Don't know if you can see that. The remains of Vlad Dracula, Mihail whispers in awe, but you do not hear him. Your eyes are glued to the jewel-encrusted cup resting upon the table. You cannot believe it. You have found it. The cup of Diemshid. That was relatively simple. The bandits rush in and begin to load their sacks with jewels and precious objects. Overcome with greed, they don't even notice Indy as he walks over to the cup. Stealthily, he grabs it and slips it into his jacket. I got it, he whispers to you. Now let's get out of here. A moment, please, Sasha interrupts, grabbing Indy by his hands. The cup slips out from under Indy's jacket and clangs to the floor. What have we here? Sasha says as he picks up the priceless object. I do believe there is a thief in our midst. The other bandits stop their looting and glare at you angrily. You gulp, uncertain of what will happen next. It is but a trinket, Sasha laughs, breaking the tense silence. If that is all you want, Indiana Jones, you may take it. Now go. You don't need to be told twice. The three of you race from the castle and head back to civilization, knowing that you have escaped with the greatest treasure of all. The end. We actually completed one with it. Well, we completed the horror High Ridge, didn't we? I cannot believe that we've actually already come to the end of Indiana Jones and the Cup of the Vampire. I'm really happy that we actually got the Cup of Diemshid, but I think it's just I'm a bit disappointed because when we started doing this, remember we did Nightmare, we did one of the Nightmare books, and it took 9 videos, and it was great. I think that's been the best one so far. Then we did the Horror of High Ridge, which took 4, and it was kindly donated by Longboy. And then I went and bought this Cup of the Vampire, Indiana Jones, because I had this book I played this book when I was a kid, and unfortunately this one's taken the shortest amount of time. That's 3 videos it's taken. So eventually we're going to do like one video. That doesn't really make sense. So I think what we'll do is we'll return to this at some point. I've said this before that I'm going to do some live shows. And when I do some live shows, what I'll be doing is occasionally we'll do a choose your own adventure night, and anyone that can turn up that has the time, we can play through it together in real time, like 24, only I'm not Kiefer Sutherland. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. I've perused this, and there's a lot more to this book in terms of places to go and things to do and stuff like that. So I think it's just that we keep managing to pick the shortest amount of time to complete a book. Alright, but at least we've completed 2 out of 3. Nightmare we died, which I'm probably ruining that for people that haven't watched those. Anyway, so what are we doing next? Well, when I first started doing this, someone instantly said to me, what about Give Yourself Goosebumps? It's a kind of choose your own adventure type of book that you get, and I kind of remembered them. I think it was more of an American thing, but I did remember at least the Goosebumps books. And what I decided to do is I'll look into it, and then one of my long-time followers of the Choose Your Own Adventure videos, and who normally always comments, is really nice, is SC Sharebear, and she recommended Give Yourself Goosebumps as well, but she actually said that she loving one that had a carnival in it. So I went on eBay, I went looking for it, and I finally found it, and I hope I found the right one, SC Sharebear. This one's Escape from the Carnival of Horrors, and we'll be starting this one the next time, hopefully next Friday, and hopefully this one will last a bit longer, but we'll see. So we're going to be doing that. And as for Indiana Jones, well, this is Find Your Fate Adventure number 5. There are other Indiana Jones Find Your Fate books. I may try and find them, and who knows, we can go back on some more rollicking archaeological adventure and fun with the whip-wielding archaeologist / professor / Harrison Ford. Hope you all have a good weekend. I'll be back soon, and for all those who unsubscribe every time I put up a Choose Your Own Adventure video, there are other rants coming and stuff like that, but I'm not going to stop doing these videos because I love doing them, and I know a few that you enjoy them. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.